we're after the top of the hour here, so this will be the start of the official meeting. Welcome everybody. Looks like we got a good amount of people coming in already. I did see that we do have a new member in tonight, Brent. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the program that we're going to be putting on tonight. We're going to do a little bit of gallery, see what some of the folks have been turning thus far, and then we're going to do a demonstration, Mr. Matt Harbor, and then we'll probably do a little bit more gallery afterwards and do a lot of talking about wood turning, fixing problems that we have, and hearing all types of insights from all of us that have experience on doing stuff. So with that, let's go ahead and kick gallery off. And then Eddie won't be in tonight. He's under the weather, but he's doing okay. But he's with us in his heart. He'll catch the replay later, and I'll back brief him on how the meeting went. So with that, let's go find Dewey.
Greetings.
We got you, buddy.
Greetings. I'm gonna turn that light out. How's everybody?
Doing good.
How about you?
Oh, I'm fine as frog here. What we got tonight is I did a little bit of turning. This is
nice.
That's cedar. That's a cedar bowl.
Oh my goodness.
That's gorgeous.
Is that all one piece?
No, this is that's glued in.
Okay.
I call it my what? I call it my what's up doc bowl.
Right.
Dewey, you just gave Brenda a heart attack.
Yeah, really. Wow.
So
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him. He's that good.
Yeah, true.
So what is that made of? How did you do that?
Okay,
is it
that's
like a bowl and then you cut it or what?
Let me show you. I'm going to share my screen just a second, okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right, where we at? Here we go. Everybody see that?
Last I looked on my computer.
Yes.
Yeah, we see the log. Your boy.
Cedar.
Yep, that's what it started out with. And then when I got it turned down, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find the rest of it. Where are we? Come here. I'm not too good at the screen sharing, but I'm going to switch to another.
You done a lot of turning on that thing.
Did that change? Did that picture change?
No.
No, we're still on the log.
Okay. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Okay.
What?
That's
Not
I got a
much
lot of
left.
I got a lot of tear out on the downstream on the downside, so I had to quit about right there. And then the rest of this is just carving on this part here. Just carving. And then cool. Of course the bowl, that's just a cedar, that's Eastern cedar bowl.
How did you do that printing on the bottom?
This right here?
Yeah.
That's with a laser.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I get a little bit better light on it.
Flip it sideways.
I don't know if I can or not. It's
now turn the light back off. Tip it.
Okay, here we go.
Tip it towards us.
Turn the light off and tip the bowl. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have that real fancy, that Logitech camera you guys are talking about, but
that
looks great.
Pretty. Yeah. Looks good.
That's a beautiful piece. That's just a beautiful piece.
It's Eastern cedar. Oh, we got a bunch of it up north of here. So I got. I
like your ideas. Your idea is just gorgeous.
Were you able to turn the whole thing, the two wings? Were you able to turn all of that, or do you have to stop and carve it?
I had to stop and carve it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks pretty thin.
All this is carved, and if you'll notice, see this? You know what that is? That's where it broke, and I glued it back together. Same thing right here.
Well, don't tell anybody else.
Typical cedar.
Oh, is that what that is?
Typical cedar.
That's
Anyway,
It's a
that's,
beautiful piece. I
it's
love
got
your
great-
idea.
You got the crack out of the way there,
Yeah.
so that's good.
yeah. And
Your
then,
idea is just out of the
Scott-
world. I love it.
got this inclusion here. I kind of liked it a little bit. And
Yeah.
Got one on this side. And
Yeah, it
it's
looks
got
good.
a gloss enamel finish on it. So
That's a beautiful piece, Dewey.
thank you
Looks
very
great,
much.
Dewey.
Thank you.
It
Okay,
is.
but
It
anyway,
really is. I
thanks
love
for letting
that
me share.
idea. Love
Yeah, you
ideas
bet,
like that.
Dewey. Great work, buddy.
Thank you.
Looks
That's
great.
that's some amazing work doing that with cedar right there.
Yes.
All right, let's go to commander of the Band-Aid Brigade. Hey, Brenda,
Me already?
you are ready.
Okay. I finally finished my four beer bottle koozies. There's one. There's two. And these two over here, I can't get the darn bottle in now. I don't know why. They fit before. Got the shine on that thing on.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
What'd you cut them out of? What'd you make them out of?
I believe it's pine. Does that look like pine?
Okay,
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah.
Sure.
sure.
I don't
sure,
know. I
looks
thought it looked like
pine.
red oak because it's really red.
Nah, you
Well, how
would
did it turn? Was it easy to turn?
have it's too straight a grain for the oak and no pores.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I think it's pine. But
Yeah, it
when,
looks great.
when I did the bottom,
Yeah, looking at the bottom, yeah, it's fine.
yeah. I put it in my
Picking
cold
up
jaws and used my grinder just to grind off the bottom
Mm-hmm.
because I tried to put it in my jaws and open it up and it started to crack. So I put
So
it in
how-
the cold jaws, used the grinder, and then got my thumb. See?
Yeah.
Um,
Brenda,
so these things have been a pain in the butt. One of them fell
How
off
deep
the
are
leg.
they? How deep are they, Brenda?
They're about 3.9 something. Yeah,
And you went down square all the way to the bottom. in order
yeah,
to get the bottle there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's nice hollowing. That's nice to do that.
Yeah.
yeah.
You hollowed
did
it.
a good
You
job.
didn't drill it.
That's good. That's good that you did that.
Don't go down quite as far, and it is a little tight. But now this one won't go in there hardly at all. But they did in the garage.
So like
there.
we said, when
I
they're all
think what
drunk,
happened, what happened when I glued the liners in, the seams got real hard and they don't expand now to let the bottle in. I think that's what happened. I had so much trouble with these things. They look terrible.
what kind of liners are you putting in?
Just the foam ones like Al's got on his beer bottle there.
Okay.
Bought a pack of 20 of them. They were like 19 cents a piece or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, and wood movement can cause that problem too.
yeah, the first four I didn't have that problem, but and then this one, it's got some scratches on it. Can you see them scratches there? Right there.
Man, that's perfect for a VFW. Or
Because
Then you don't have
That's
to worry
perfect.
about them scratching it, right?
yeah, and then
Right.
it fits the best too.
Heck yeah.
You know what I caught on the buffing wheel? I got glue on the bottom of it too. I gotta clean that up a little bit. But anyway, I caught the top of it with the on the buffing wheel and it hit the lathe and
It split, yeah.
this thing has been a pain in my butt.
Said,
So
catch
finally
me if
they're
you
done.
can. Catch me if you can.
Yeah,
Great
It's
stuff,
a big
Brenda.
Band-Aid you got there, Brenda.
I just got one Band-Aid.
What's with
Yeah.
your wrist?
that's good work.
It
though,
hurts
Brenda.
every now and then, so I wrap it up. Couple days it'll quit hurting.
Sure.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of them things for
Ruby,
all your
you
life.
need
You
to,
know.
Ruby, you need to turn your camera on.
That's all I got,
All
guys.
right. Thank
Very
you,
good,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Nice stuff.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's go up north and see what Miss Ruby's got. We got you, Ruby.
Okay, a number of the people in the group are still fairly new turners, so I made this sheet up, and I did send a copy for the newsletter.
Yes.
In the newsletter.
It's in the newsletter.
Yes.
In the
Okay,
newsletter.
what it does is it gives you your cut direction based on the grain direction. So if you're doing an end grain bowl, for example, here, on the outside you cut towards the tenon, and on the inside you cut from the inside out. And spindles are pretty straightforward. You're always cutting from high to low. And if you have something like a cove here, you cut from the high to the center of the cove and then down again. So it's just something that you can pin up on the wall behind your lathe, and it can kind of remind you of which way to be making your cuts.
Yes. I
Great
enjoyed
guy.
reading that article today.
And the article in the newsletter is well put together, Billy. Thank you.
Yes.
My
And
pleasure. Thank you.
That was a good collaboration between you two. Appreciate it.
this
And it
is
was
a,
unintentional.
Yeah.
this is a spalted maple burl that I did a while back. It's a bird's eye maple. You can see the spalting inside.
Mhm.
On the back side, this I did on a legacy where we were testing out the machines to see if we could rotor sections on bowls, on round sections. So there were two different rotor bits that were used, the very, very thin one for these areas and then the wider one for these.
Mhm.
And that
Very
was,
cool.
so the
So
end result is a bowl that looks kind of like this.
That is cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
So your jig moved not only from left to right, it went in and out. Do you understand? Okay, so I'm sure you were on a platform.
Yeah, the
With the
way
route.
it was set, this was mounted like this, and the
Right,
rotor
right.
just basically came down here and up, and then you rotated it with an index system. And
Yeah.
that's all it was.
Really neat, Ruby.
You held the router by hand?
No, it was,
No, okay.
it's mounted on the legacy machine.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Okay?
That's pretty cool.
That is Ruby.
So just to give you a different perspective of things you can do.
Right.
Yep.
Okay?
Ruby, thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's all I have.
All right.
That's a lot.
Let's go to let's see. We're going to go to Florida. Mr. Tom in. Hey, Tom.
Hello,
You doing?
You're in your shop.
I am. I have two bowls to show. Back in May, we had a tornado come through the neighborhood. Fortunately, it bounced over my house, but my neighbors weren't so fortunate, and took out a Bradford pear tree, and the neighbors were kind enough to save some of it for me. Just a second. There we go.
Wow.
And this is, I cored it, so I got 3 cores out of it, and these are 2 of them. The third one is still, it's been rough turned and it's drying. And the finish is Parfix 3408.
Heck
The
yeah.
Love it.
smaller one is about 6 inches, and the bigger one is 10 inches. And the biggest of the bunch, I think, is going to be about 14 inches.
Cool.
And
Those
that's
are
all
really
we got
pretty,
for
Tom.
tonight. Thank you.
Nice job.
Very nice.
Yeah, they look great.
Appreciate that.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks, Tom. Great piece. All right. Let's see who we got next. We got Mr. Al.
Uh-oh.
Al, turn your camera on. There it
Yep.
is.
Hey, how's everybody? Let's see.
Doing good.
Is it better this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Better
works.
this way. Okay.
No, it's
Last week I showed this ridiculous piece, 22 inches, and I said I was gonna try to finish it more and get a little more detail, and I had about an inch on the wall still to take out, and here, by the time I got around to it, I start coming through on the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, so here I'm here for a week and a half now playing with this, and I'm doing this finish Dane was telling me about, and put some water on it and rub it out. And I kind of like the way I get this. And then I come out, and now the whole thing is cracked.
Oh, no.
It's
Wow.
cracked. Well, no, I mean,
Yeah, you
when I
spent
was-
so much time on that.
I was crying. But anyway, again, it took me over a week because, like I said last week, I could only spin it about 375. No, it was like 320, 325. So, and here it was like when I was getting it, it was like every time it would just be bouncing all the time, and it actually even broke my handle off, and I was like, yeah, I was really screaming. That was about a week and a half over.
Mhm.
But I get a kick out of, doing this goofy stuff. I don't know.
Mhm.
But,
I
You're
think the
spinning it
cracks
too
add
slow.
to it.
I
You're
think we all
spinning
do.
it
That's
too
it
slow.
was so good. What's that?
You're spinning it too slow. You got
Yeah,
a lot of time in the middle to.
I could not spin it anymore. Actually, at 325, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. There was a white knuckle around.
You gotta get a helmet and turn it up to about 1800. Then you
Yeah.
have the space in between the thing.
Knock
Nobody
some
can
sense
turn that
into
at
me.
325.
You
Knock
get
some
yourself a
sense
Red
into
Bull
me, yeah.
with vodka, and then you got your wings and your helmet, and you're good to go.
Nobody can turn that at 325.
I got another piece away. It was another scrap. I was just so mad over all this. Something quick. I remember both of my paps had one of these. You guys ever? An ashtray.
Sure. Ashtray.
Cigar ashtray.
Both my paps had one. I remember.
Nice. What
Nice.
kind of wood is that?
Quick and easy. What's that?
What kind of wood is that?
This is walnut.
Really? Okay.
That sounds pretty.
It is pretty. Looks good.
It is.
This-
What kind of finish
I
you put
don't
on
I
that?
don't know anybody that smokes anymore.
No. Thing of the past. Some people might not even know what I'm talking about.
I was just getting ready to light mine up again.
And then everybody knows that I'm a goof. I come from a long line of goofers.
Uh-oh.
This is just this afternoon.
Good one. That's a good one.
Well, everybody,
Goodness.
please, everybody have a nice evening, and everybody have a good time. So everybody be good. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Al.
Cool. Thanks, Al.
All right, let's see who we got next. Oh, we got Mr. Kingsley.
Grandpa.
Dave, we got you
Hey.
now, Grandpa.
Here I am
There you are.
with yet another cherry bowl.
Your cherry bowls are beautiful though.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
Very nice, Dave.
What kind of finish you got on that? very
This one is Carnauba wax.
Okay.
I buffed it with Axe, and I spun in Carnauba wax, melted in real good.
Very nice.
Pretty.
Hey, how did you
Great shape.
how did you get the wax on the bowl?
I have a cake of it. It's like a rock, and you've got to be careful not to drop it because it splatters all over the place.
Yeah, just a rock
Sprinkles.
though. It's hard to get it. You know, you're like you're painting with crayons on there, you know.
Right, but if you get it spinning enough to generate some heat, it'll melt right in.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been working on this for a while. I'm not real happy with it. But
Pretty.
I tried doing a lacquer finish and I hated it. So I sanded it off, and this is done with pure Carnauba again. And I'm debating whether or not to cut that tube off.
Nah,
No,
no. Once you put flowers or something in it.
yeah,
you can see
I
that
wouldn't.
anyway.
The flowers will hide it.
Yeah.
Long, but glue it in.
Yep.
And then I had something that was sort of a rescue. I was gonna do a captive ring and it messed up. So I just said, forget it. I got a nice little ring with about a half inch missing out of it to roll it around on the floor though.
Looks like a little lamp. That's
Yeah,
cute.
I'm debating. I've got some brass candle cups. Thinking
Mm.
about putting one of them in there.
That'd be pretty.
I
But
like
it's-
that shape, though. I like that shape.
But it's spalted maple.
Have you thought about maybe doing some pyrography to it? Is that what it is? You know, drill the holes through it? You know?
Pyrography's burning.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. You know, drill holes through the top of it.
Piercing.
Piercing, yeah, piercing. And then
Oh,
put your
piercing. I
pyrography-
hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that'd
Starts
be
with a P.
That might be interesting.
Mhm. Small enough that it wouldn't take you months, right?
Right.
Hmm.
But
It'd
it,
be beautiful. You won't be drinking out of it if you're gonna pierce it though.
oh, but that's as far as I got this week. I've been playing with my 3D printer, making some toys for the grandson.
Oh
Oh,
goodness.
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice job, Dave.
But
That
thank you.
grandson is spoiled.
Yes, he is. And I'm
Yeah.
enjoying every minute of it.
Hey,
I
now-
spoil him and then I send him home.
I
Right,
wonder
yeah,
why. I
exactly.
wonder why he's spoiled. I just wonder.
All right. Thanks again, Dave. All right.
Take care.
Now we've got Roger. Hey, Roger.
Alrighty. I started working on my snowman.
Oh.
Oh,
my.
yes.
That is
Oh,
beautiful.
my.
Man, oh, man.
Very nice, Roger.
That's pretty, Roger.
And it's
Outstanding.
time consuming, all those little pieces.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, but it's beautiful.
Are you putting it
That
together
is.
with tooth or tweezers?
My fat fingers.
Oh my
Ah,
God.
right.
I'd have glue all over.
Almost looks like a puzzle.
Yeah, I like those
Well,
ducks.
they'll be mated when I
No,
finished.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
That's
Is that
great.
like the one in your left hand? Is that like a duck's head at the top of that? At top
That
of
what?
each of your white.
No,
I'm seeing your stripe of the lighter color at the top by your rim.
Up here?
No, down in the middle by the neck.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
That's just a thin piece of maple is all it is.
So, okay. It looked like it was a head of something. No. Okay. Yeah, it's
Normally
pretty.
put a light in that then?
Really pretty.
What's that?
Do you normally put a light in that then?
No, I'm not gonna put no light in it.
Oh, okay.
No design change.
No, I was thinking that the other one, it looked like it would sit over top of a light. Okay,
Because you got solid piece here. So
Okay.
you'd have to have a light in each section.
gotcha. Wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sure is.
Yes, it is.
Time consuming.
It's more than
And
I
I've
can.
had to tear this off like 3 times and rebuild it.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Patience of Job.
Mm-mm-mm.
Roger, what woods do you got in that?
the lower part is maple and walnut.
Okay.
This is hickory.
Okay.
Walnut and what is it? IPE.
Eep.
Ipe.
Billy knows how to say it. IPE.
ePay.
Yeah.
Pay.
Okay. So then the head will be maple.
That is
So-
amazing.
Very
But
nice.
I'm about half done with it, so.
Wow.
Good so far.
Yeah, it looks good.
Keeps you
Thank
busy.
you, Roger.
Yep. Don't drop it.
It's been dropped.
Okay.
Oh,
There's
no.
a couple pieces missing right here
You dropped it?
on there.
Nobody would know the difference.
Well, when it's done, you won't notice, but
All
Nice.
right, Roger. You think you'll
Beautiful.
have it done by next week?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
On how
a
hard
lot
you
of
work
work.
at it, huh?
How many pieces do you have per ring?
36 pieces per ring.
Okay, that's a lot.
There's
I
supposed to
do
be
16.
2,200 some pieces when I get it done.
Hmm.
You got a lot more
I'm still
patience
not old
than I
enough
do.
to do that.
That's
What'd you say, Dane?
really nice.
I said I'm not old enough to do that yet. All right, thank you very much, Roger.
I've been dabbling.
Okay,
Thanks a lot, Roger.
All right, let's go
It's
to
really, really nice
Sue and
work.
see what she's got. She got in the shop this week. Hey, Sue.
Hey there. Yeah, I measured some stuff for pens and I drilled out the pens and I'm waiting for the glue to dry now. But
Oh, no.
Billy
Ma'am.
inspired me last week. And so I figured I'd make a raven birdhouse with a beautiful
Nice.
black cat and a rustic little pumpkin and maybe a little vine thing on the bottom. So the I made the hat and I figured I'd make the pumpkin the next day. Well, when I went out there, the hat disappeared. So I'm sure one of the cats jumped up on the workbench and absconded with it. So I figured, okay, hopefully that's not an omen. I can just make another hat. Well, the pumpkin is little, as you can see. And I had made it so that, you know, I accentuated all the spots because I wanted it to look a little rustic and hide some of the mistakes.
That looks good.
And I also got, you know, the roundness of each section. And it was coming out pretty good. I liked it. So then I cut it off the lathe and made
Funnel time.
funnel time. So
Uh-oh.
what I'm going to do is I may try to fix it with a
Oh,
nail or something, but yeah,
If it's big enough, you can put a light in the bottom and nobody'd notice.
well, that's true, but I didn't put a face on it. I was gonna put a raven and I did the hole for the bird to come in and out, but
Yeah.
I could do the other one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I have to say, Sue, holy pumpkin.
Holy pumpkin.
Hi, Mark.
Looks like he escaped being carved up for a pumpkin pie.
Yep, yep. So
Actually, Linus would call that a great pumpkin.
there you go, the great
Nice job.
pumpkin.
Great pumpkin.
And the hole is almost an inch. You know, it's just little, guys, little.
Yeah.
But I'll
Ah,
fix it.
great job, Sue. I mean, it's been a
Yeah.
while since you've been out in the shop, so that's awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and it felt good. It
I
felt,
bet.
yeah.
I know the feeling I hadn't been out in the shop since last Tuesday, and today was the first day of actually turning it, you know, or at least
Yeah. I
gouge through the wood.
I did notice that my eyes tire out, so I have to stop every couple of hours and rest my eyes. So, or I look one-eyed so the other eye doesn't see the other. Right?
Little at a
Right.
time, see, little at a time.
Okay, honey.
Yeah. Yep.
Me too.
So, anyways, I did find one thing out. This is jacaranda, and it was hard. I didn't think it would be that hard, but it is hard. I finally had to take carbide tools to it because any of my other tools wouldn't work on the inside.
Wow.
So, and I figured that, you know, it would bring some grain out with the dye.
Yeah.
Grain on that.
No.
The only thing you can see is the bark inclusion, which we just passed. There's the barking. fruit.
Right, yeah.
And,
Huh.
but it has no grain at all. So maybe I'll do it for something else, like little spindle.
What kind
No.
of dye did you use then?
What's that?
What kind of dye did you use?
Spirit dye.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't have orange, so I took some red that I had already added alcohol to. And
Added some yeller.
Oh,
Freeze
Oh,
up.
is it me? Is it me or Sue that froze up?
Sue, Sue.
Must
Okay.
be Sue, because she's froze to me too.
Oh, no. Yeah, we'll come back to her. Let's swing over to Texas and see what Billy's got for us. Hey, Billy.
Hey, oh my goodness. I've done I've done a few of these little gadgets. A la Mark Soleil style,
Nice.
from what he
That's
showed
great.
with the 45-degree on the top and the bottom.
Mhm.
That's one of the
It worked
purple
out
ones.
great.
Yeah, it actually does.
Yeah.
Mark, I didn't use toothpicks though. I'm sorry. I used 1/8-inch bamboo skewers.
Well, I use some of those too.
Yep. Same concept.
This one, top and bottom finials are biased cut, stabilized screw bean mesquite.
Okay.
That was a beast. That was hard to cut.
Where'd you get the grinding stones?
What grinding stones?
We have them on the website. Dan, we have them on the website, and then if
Oh,
you don't find them
that
there, I
thing.
can send the list to you after hours.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
if you wish, later I'll send you a link, Dan. The one I didn't buy the stone. I bought a 45-degree diamond cone that is about 1.5 inches wide at the base, at the widest.
Is
But
that
it
on
is
Amazon?
it's 45-degree diamond covered, like a CBN wheel sort of, except
Right.
a much it's about an 80 grit, and it works great. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Billy,
cuts
could
them
you
like nobody's business.
can you put a link to that in chat maybe?
Sure. And
Great,
I will,
thanks.
and I bought a set of my countersinks. I don't have any 45-degree countersinks. So I bought a set of 45-degree countersinks. Yeah, those. And I'll put a link to those.
I know what you're talking about.
I'll put a link to those in the chat as well. This is one of the green ones. And I don't know why they have those. Some of them have little black streaks on them. Some in various places. It's weird. This was stabilized and dyed curly maple. The blank was just as purple as it could be when I cut it. But when I put the sanding sealer on it, it turned it brown. It looks more purple in the camera here than it does when I'm looking at it. It's brown.
Oh, that's weird.
And another purple one, a little bit of a prettier finial. This one
Yeah, it looks
also,
great.
this one is mesquite.
Wow.
Love it.
Not stabilized and not screw bean. This is just mesquite, but I just love mesquite. So I got one more done and got finish on it. I couldn't bring it in because it wasn't dry yet. And it was it was a stabilized maple burl pin blank that I used. And I machined some of the other ones are going to take bigger blanks than pin blanks, because the holes in the bottom of them are just so big. So like the Sputniks and those little pink ones, for one reason or another, have a huge hole in the bottom. So I milled up some spalted pecan and some more mesquite and something else. I don't know. I've got 8 more to do. So got more
Very
coming.
good. for the ones that you said were stabilized, did you do stabilizing on it or did you get it from somewhere else?
No, I had them, one of them, two of them came to me stabilized. The two maple ones, the curly maple, the purple curly maple and
Yeah.
the maple burl came to me stabilized wherever I got them.
Okay.
The screw bean mesquite I actually sent to River Ridge with a bunch of other blanks years and years ago,
Oh, okay.
and had them stabilize them for me.
Are they still
if,
are they still doing stuff like that?
as far as I know, they are.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you don't want to mess with getting a vacuum system and a vacuum chamber and cactus juice and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
I think it's actually more cost effective just to send them to River Ridge, because what they do is they put them, and they'll tell you before you send them how to, you use a special paint pen and write on them and put your name or initials or something on the bottom or on the end of the blank so they can tell whose is what. And they just stabilize them, a bunch of them together. And what they charge, or the way they used to charge, I don't know about anymore, but the way they used to charge was that they weighed all your blanks before they put them in the vat, and then they weighed them again after they were cured, and you got charged by the weight change. And it wasn't much at all. Usually $1 a blank thereabouts, depending on what the blank was. I've had them do corn cobs. I've had them do all kinds of stuff. So it's yeah, I really liked them.
Nice.
And
yeah, it turned out really well.
That's all I've got.
This is Mark Slay. You can get both the 90-degree countersink and the 90-degree grinding stone from McMaster Carr.
Yes. I chose Amazon because it was faster.
And I use a 3/4 wood countersink that fits a 1/4-inch drill. That way, when you drill your blank, right, if you're using wood, then you drill the blank from one side and it automatically countersinks, because the countersink goes over a 1/4-inch drill, and then you drill it through from the other side to make your countersink, and then you mount it on your pen mandrel and you can totally finish it. Because you're using you're putting it on a 1/4-inch drill.
The countersinks that I bought they're high-speed steel, and the 1/4-inch shafts are hex shafts. But that's just what I got.
The countersink has a hole in it, a 1/4-inch hole in it, and it fits on a 1/4-inch drill.
Oh.
Yeah. Then it's all one. It all fits, and you're doing one operation, and it goes right onto the pen mandrel, and you can finish up the center section.
Cool.
Outstanding. Great advice there from Mark as well.
Yep.
Beautiful pieces you got there, Billy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Stay in Texas. Go ahead, Mark.
Do you want to see, want me to go out to the shop and let you see the?
Yeah.
Let me, all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go on with it.
Go on out.
Yeah,
Okay.
go on with the meeting, and I'll get out there and
Okay.
I'll show you a picture of them.
Yeah, we're gonna stay in Texas, and we're gonna go up the road to Mansfield, where my mother-in-law used to live, but it wasn't with Bob.
No.
Bob?
No, not with me.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, I staying in this Christmas theme. Here were some little angels. Let me maybe I can turn a light on here. These are just little angels you can turn. Whoops, turn it. maybe that way. And this one looks like he's backwards, but anyway, just little angel ornaments, and they were easy to turn.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
And
Is that
here's
cedar?
another one. You get the better pine without all the grain in it, and they look better. And of course, little snowman.
There
And
we go.
then I have to thank Martin for doing the
Oh, pretty.
Oh, look
little
at that.
umbrella, the little napkin holders, because
Nice.
this
One of
turned
the
out real
ladies.
well.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
nice.
Beck, you did an excellent job on that.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it turned out real well. I
Wow.
really like these. I've made several of these, so they
Yeah.
turned out. But thanks, Martin.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, that's it, guys. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let's go check, see if Mark's in. Mark, you ready? Probably not. He'll holler when he's ready. Let's go to the other side of the country and see what's shaking up in Massachusetts. Hey, Leonard.
How you doing?
Doing good.
So this is a remake of one I had done when I first started turning, because I came from scroll saw. So I had one sits on my wife's desk at work. Somebody that she works with wanted one for herself. And on the top, scroll sawed in, is the Tree of Life. And they use them for potpourri. So kind of
Beautiful.
keep their office fresh. And then I don't know, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, after hours, we talked about a piece of wood that I was trying to figure out how to mount. I took the lower half, and I have turned another box. This is elm. I don't think you can see how shiny it really came out, but
It looks good.
so it was pretty punky. I kind of had to rely on some information that I had in my head that I hadn't used in a long time. I used to repair windowsills with a wood hardener. It's a really thin liquid that you put on there. Takes a couple of coats, but seemed to work really well.
What kind was it?
Don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
If I can find it, I did have to go purchase it, but if I can find out what it is, I'll post it in there.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. I love the Spalding. Love
Yeah.
it.
Came out pretty nice.
What else you got, Leonard?
Now that's about it. I don't get
That's
a lot
it?
of time to spend in the shop, but
No worries. Well, excellent job on that.
thank you.
Great. All right, let's go and see what Mr. Chris is doing. We got you, Chris.
There we go. So,
Yes. Howdy.
okay, how you doing? So this has been on the glue block for 2 to 3 years.
Oh my.
Why is that still on there?
You got one of them, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those pieces I was gonna throw away about every time I stub my toe on it. So it's a piece of beech that was turned just a scrap. So I turned it, it's a sharp screw in the side of that. Anyway, the grain it's just sanding sealer right now, and I don't like the inside at all. It's kind of blotchy, even though it's well sanded. So what I was thinking, put it up to, if I milk painted it with something like that, and then shellacked or lacquered over that, how would you, since it's already turned and it's design change, how would you keep it from going up on the bark ring on the top?
The dye or the paint?
The paint, yeah.
What
Because
you-
it's out
what you-
around, I won't be able to scrape it off.
Right. What you'd
Tape-
want to
tape
do
it-
is
tape-
seal it.
ta-
Seal it
tape
and
it
then
off.
tape it.
Masking tape?
Yeah.
I hate masking tape. The paint always gets under it. I don't care what kind you use.
Gotta
I'm
seal it
afraid you'll
first.
say that.
I'd seal
Well, you
it
are-
with, I'd seal it with CA. And then if you get
Yeah.
paint on it, you can wipe the paint off the CA.
So will the
Do
CA
something-
go-
i-
will the
if-
CA
if you
stick
don't-
over the, will the CA stick
the
over
wood's-
the shellac that's on it now?
But the wood's, the wood's got to be sealed.
Yeah.
Before you-
Well,
you
there's
know,
two coats of sanding seal on it now.
Okay.
You could use Frisket film, which gives you a better seal. You could use like hot glue or like something like an Elmer's glue that you could peel off when you were done.
Hot glue.
So,
I
yeah.
got about 4 tubes of it right there.
Well, you don't have to use 4 tubes on it. You just need a thin layer to keep the paint from getting on it, and then you can just
And then-
heat it up and heat it up and pull it
And
off.
smooth it out. Smooth it out with your finger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or
yeah.
or a stick or
Wear a
something.
glove.
So
Wear a glove, Chris.
Paint are you
Yeah.
gonna
Use your raw hand.
Couple of leather gloves.
Chris, what kind of paint are you gonna use?
I have milk paint.
Try putting Vaseline on your finger and put Vaseline on that bark
Oh,
edge.
great idea.
The
Great idea.
Vaseline will keep the paint from going into the.
That's, I think, what I'll do.
Yes. Or you could use wax.
Wax would work too.
Vaseline would be the best idea.
Yeah,
Then you got to make sure you're being symmetrical going around. That you don't dip down into the wood where
Yeah.
you do want the paint.
this Brent turning in, if you put Vaseline on it, just apply it with a Q-tip. You can get a pretty nice, application using the Q-tip on it.
Yeah, that or a chisel artist brush.
A coffee stir stick.
And yeah, anything fine that you could put it
Yeah.
on. Don't
You
use
just got
your
to take
finger.
your time doing
But
it.
don't,
Just got to
but don't use your finger. It'll go all over if you use your finger.
right.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, I think that's what we'll try it. And then I'm gonna give it to a church bazaar for their holiday tag sale on the 23rd, so I gotta get moving on that. Ow, son of a. The grub screw has a sharp burr.
Yeah.
Take that right off with some sandpaper.
Those grub screws belong in the top right-hand drawer of your toolbox.
Yeah. Well, I had them on because I
You
was
just
gonna do it in
forget-
reverse, but I never did.
Then you
that.
just forget about them.
How about using milk paint and a foam brush?
He is using milk paint.
I am using milk paint. And it's
You
still
can
in here.
always lacquer over it if you want a shiny surface.
Yeah, well, that's what I did with this little bowl here. That's milk painted and lacquered over.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
All right, we'll try that. I'll let you know next week.
Lots of ideas there for you to try, Chris.
And there's always the wood stove.
Oh, yes, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. All right,
Thank
let's go
you.
see Mr. Davis. Is it segmented?
No.
Segmented.
Turn his camera off instead of unmuting him.
Ray, you turn your camera. There you go.
Oh, there.
Now we got you.
You got it? All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome from snowy Albuquerque this evening. We're supposed to get about 2 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow, so.
Wow.
My second hollow form. And
Nice. There you go.
that was aspen out of my son's yard. It was still a little wet, but it had some discoloring in the grains there. Made it kind of unusual. I set that down for a couple of weeks and looked at it, and I didn't like it. So day before yesterday, I added a little bit to it.
Nice.
There you go.
Now
Yeah,
I like
that's
There you go.
yeah, I agree.
So that really did help it.
Topped it off nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's aspen?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Quaking aspen
Yeah,
from,
I haven't seen
from
a
Colorado.
rain pattern like that.
Yeah,
Looks good.
It was unusual.
Right?
Very unusual.
Looks like ambrosia maple.
Yeah, no. And the tree was standing until it was cut down. And, but it was still wet when I turned it,
Nice.
hollowed it out. So,
Didn't move, didn't crack.
well, I turned it pretty thin. I'm down a little less than a quarter of an inch inside.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I'm sure you can't see, but there is a
Yeah.
hole down in there.
Right. It's not drilled. Yep. It looks
Not,
like
not
the way
drilled,
you-
it was turned, it was
it looks
turned.
like the way you're handling it around. It doesn't look heavy.
No, it's very light.
Beautiful.
And I got one other to show. One of the ladies in our club here in Albuquerque called me up and said, do you know how to do the Celtic knot? And I says, well, I've done a couple of pins and stuff. She says, I want to do that in a rolling pin. So I had to.
Oh my.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
French rolling pin with the Celtic knot.
Yep.
Nice. What did you finish it with?
That's at Parfex.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I use on rolling pins as well.
Yeah, it turned.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Great
I
job.
probably put more on there than I should. I put like 3 coats on it, but and then polished it on
Yeah.
the wheel system.
How many segments did you put together to do this?
You make 4 cuts.
Okay, 4 cuts.
There's 4 cuts to make that.
On a square piece, Sal.
Yeah, on a
Right,
square
no,
piece.
I understand. I didn't know how to say anything else but segment, but you knew what I meant. How did you? Yeah.
Well, and some people will figure out some angles to cut it. I set it up on a sled and figured out where I wanted that Celtic knot to land in this piece, and that's what I came up with. So, yeah, I thought it'd come out pretty good.
It sure did.
It's fir wood, so just a practice piece to make sure that I could still do it.
Yeah, it looks like you still can, Ray.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think I could have got it more perfect with the everything
you passed
lining
the
up.
test. You passed the test. You studied.
Yeah.
That's
And that's all I've
really
got.
pretty.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Mr. Mark Soleil.
Okay,
There he is.
yeah. Let me flip this camera around here.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Mark.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see these on the white plate?
No.
Okay.
All we see is your name.
Can you
Mark.
see it now?
Mark, you have
What?
you got your video turned off.
Okay.
Now you muted yourself.
Big fingers, little buttons.
Right. All right, we got your camera back, but you're muted. Now your camera there. Here we go. Camera's
You're
turned
still
around.
muted though.
We can't hear you, Mark. You're muted. Now your video's off.
Now it's
Oh,
back.
gone it. Those iPhones, I tell you.
Yeah. But we get the idea what you're talking about there.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the bits that
That Mark uses.
Mark uses for drilling and grinding.
Okay,
Yes.
here you go. Now
There
can
we
you hear
go.
me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mark.
So the 90-degree countersink that I get, you see it has, you can get them for any size drill, but I use get these little things and you can put them on the 1/4-inch drill then when you drill through, right, when you go through, you get your hole for the pen mandrel and your countersink.
Hmm.
Right, and then you can get the 90-degree, you can get the 90-degree little grinding stones. They're about $3 a piece or something like that. But you can get both of these things from McMaster Carr. That way, when you drill through, it's drill through one side and then the other side, and it just slides onto your pen mandrel, and you can completely finish the wood.
Cool.
Great.
And then you just make your little your toothpick, your skewer, whatever, and you use your 45, right? When you
Right.
cut it off, and you never make an overcap. That way it will fit in all the highs and the lows of the sea urchin that he was using. It always matches up. So simple.
Right.
Mark makes
So
everything
simple.
sound so easy.
I know, right?
No, what the object is you use the tools to do a specific job.
True.
And that way you don't go through the frustrations of trying to figure it out at the moment that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you make your custom tools to do this only one cut. That's all they do, right? Or whatever,
Yeah.
But anyway,
You're a
the
genius.
the countersink on the 1/4 inch, that's a 3/4 one with a 1/4 inch hole in the middle. They're about $25. And the grinding stones are about $3, to do your odd shape, sea urchins and things like that.
Right.
McMaster Carr has them both. They're nationwide.
Yeah. Yeah, that's here. I put the name in the chat. They're like Granger. They have everything.
Yeah, and they have competitive prices.
Yes.
The one that I have on my drill came from WL Fuller Company, but McMaster Carr has them for a little bit less.
Yeah. Economies of scale. Very good, Mark. Thank you very much, sir.
You can see my bare feet there.
Yeah, we see the sandals. At least you don't have Crocs on. You're good.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All
Thank
right,
you, Mark.
we're at the top of the hour, and it looks like Sue has not been able to come back on, so we're not going to have our typical safety meeting. But we are going to have a demo, and of course, my Zoom just restarted on my laptop, so here we are back on the cell phone. So we're going to start the demo. We have Mr. Matt Harbor taking us into a shop to put on a nice demonstration for us. Typical house cleaning, it's his demo. If he wants to solicit questions or comments while he's demonstrating, that's up to him. And then if he does, then one at a time. Don't step on each other. You can ask a question if that's what he wants. Otherwise, wait till the end of the demonstration. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat during tool changeovers or whenever there's a pause in Matt's turning. I will ask him the question to clear up whatever the question is or whatever it is that he's doing. So with that, I am going to mute everybody. And Matt, you're going to have to unmute yourself. So muting all.
Okay, I should be unmuted.
And I got you, Matt.
All right. Hi again. I'm Matt Harbor. Welcome to my shop. I am going to be demonstrating how to turn these inside out ornaments. And as some of our members have shown, they're not just for ornaments. You can use them for legs and stuff like that. Here's my contact information and a picture of one of the ornaments. So now there's math. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to say, okay, I want a radius of 2 inches. That's R. And so that gives me a side of my 4 posts at 1.414 inches. Okay. So if you want to make them bigger or smaller, you just change R and redo the calculation. Okay. And if you decide you want to do 6 posts, then your cut angle is now 60 degrees instead of 90 degrees. And each side then becomes 1.547 inches. So what I did, let me go back over to here. So what I did is I made up, so I can do the settings on my table saw, is I made up a couple of little sticks here with some of those dimensions on them. And I wrote the dimensions on them so I can just use them to set my table saw up to do and this one here is I think this one here is this one here is the sides for the 2-inch diameter one for the 4 posts. I'm not going to do a 6-post one tonight. So this is a close-up view of this. So this is an ornament that I showed last week, and I added this doohickey in the middle because people said it was missing something, and I agreed with it. So I just turned a little something and glued it in there and painted it up some metallic silver, and it's got like extreme glitter on it too over the metallic silver. So a little bit of fun and games. So back to this. Process. So I'm first the first picture here, step 3, together. So the first thing I'm going to do after I glue them up is I'm going to mark them. This one is done left to right. I'm going to do them clockwise. But the important part is you have to number them or use letters or whatever and mark the center. Okay. And then when I put it on the lathe in step 4, I'm going to tape up the sides. So the tape helps to keep things together because these pieces are all going to be split and they've got a piece of paper between them. All right. And then I'll come back to this. And then step 5A and 5B. 5A is where I've turned out the center for the inside, and step 5B is where I've painted that inside while it's still on the lathe. All right. So let's go back over here. So this is my 4 blocks glued up. Now they're all the correct size. They're square, or as close as I could get them on my table saw. And I'm gonna take a Sharpie and I'm gonna number them 1, 2, 3, 4, and I went clockwise. And I'm gonna make a mark so I can mark the center. Now what's gonna happen here is I got some extras from some cutoffs from someone I did here. So there's a strip of paper. This is just computer paper, and it's glued between these here on this one. Okay, and you can see like this one here where I split them out. And so what's going to happen is after you're done turning the inside, you're going to split them out and you're going to rotate each one in place 180 degrees. Okay. And then you're going to glue them together without the paper, and that's going to be your final ornament. So you can look at this one here and see the 4 sections that they're glued. Okay.
Yes.
The questions at any point, by the way.
No questions yet.
And I don't know what that sound was.
There's no questions, Matt.
All right. Thank you, Dane.
You're welcome.
So the tape is to the tape is to keep things together, because the paper in between here, they can come apart. I had one come apart not too long ago. So that's a frightening thing. So we're going to try to avoid that if possible, but it is a demo. So so the Tapes, that's right. I've got extras. So it's, if it does come apart, we will punt. Now there's going to be some Blue Peter action going on here tonight. And by that mean the glue's going to dry in an instant. Okay. The glue I used on these is Titebond Quick and Thick, but you could use a wood glue or anything that holds the wood together. Now the tape serves more than one purpose because it's not only holding things together, but it's also going to serve as, or helping to hold things together. It's also going to serve as a sort of a guide. Okay. So on these outside corners are now going to be the center when we turn them around. Okay. So on my finished one here, what's on the center here, this corner was on the outside in the first stage. Likewise, this glue line is this glue line right through here. So this is going to become this cavity here. So the shape that you have at that glue line is going to be this shape here. And how thin you go in the middle is how thin these posts get. If you get them too thin, they come apart. So don't do that. Okay. Questions so far?
Nothing yet.
All right. Put the face shield on.
Oh yes, very important.
To use primarily a deep fluted bowl gouge. Speed is your friend here because you're turning a piece that's not round already. So I'm just going to start working the cavity, light cuts, light shearing cuts. Now, one of the things I'm going to want is at the tape line, that's going to be where the tape is on the outside corner. That's going to be in the center of this at the very, when I flip things around. So I want that kind of square. Otherwise, it presents a problem when I put them together. Now the wood here I'm using is cherry. It was cut from a tree in my backyard.
How far are you going to cut that in, Matt?
Well, so what I'm looking at here, this is my glue line. My glue line is between here and here, okay?
Right.
And that is my post size. So if you leave your post too thick, then it doesn't look right. You can't really see inside. So I want to go thinner than this, okay?
Okay.
So now another thing you'll notice here. Now, tape also serves as a good delimiting factor because you're going to want to have some room at the top to come around so you can put your finial in a little bit of space here.
Shoulders.
So yeah, to make the shoulders. So the tape kind of defines where that is. Now you can see that I'm not sharp as I come across there. So I want to make this not so curved. I want to make it more this way. Okay.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
I can do that a couple different ways. I can do it with this tool that I've been using. Just have to make sure that I come across it squarely like that. And here I've got to turn left-handed to do it. Taking too big a bite there.
You're between centers. You can always just flip it around.
You could, but I'm never sure that I'm going to get it right where I want it, where it'll be on centers. I mean, I did as good as I could. I've got some holes in there to guide it, but I'd rather just finish it as it is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, that's my go-to thing. It's battling the headstock. I flip it around.
I didn't know that. It's good to know.
Yeah, I think I
As
talked
you can
about
see,
it a couple weeks ago when
as
I
you can
demoed.
see, that's a shearing cut.
Shearing cut, good way
So
to eliminate ridges.
Yep. So let's check our post size here, and I could still probably come in a little bit more. So we're going to do that. All right, I want to try to make this a little tighter here, a little more square. So I'm going to use a skew and use it as a scraper here, and just push this in a little bit. Right about there, just to make sure I get it right.
Yeah, set that wall and grab it with the bow guide's a good idea.
What's that?
Taking the skew and setting your cutting edge with the wall there, and then coming back in with your bow gouge to pick up the cut. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you ride, the way you do that is you ride the bevel. And that's a little square there. I want that a little more round. Okay, so that's where we are now. So we're going to call that for the night. We're going to call that workable. I don't like that there. Let's see if I can clean that up. Got a little bit of a ridge here. You can't really see it in any of my cameras. So
Just like walking a dog.
yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Trying to do is just get it cleaned up here so it's reasonable. Now, the way you sand this, because now's the time to sand it, is you make sure you've got some strips. So you want strips into the sharp edges here, and you don't want that. So because these little sharp corners will hurt.
You know from experience?
Yes, I do.
You could also wrap your sandpaper around a round dowel and then just move it in the cove.
Somewhere I've got one of those.
I call those corners knuckle busters.
That's what they are. That's a great idea, Ruby. Thank you. Works like a charm, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after I'm done sanding, would be the time to paint it. It's significantly harder to paint it once it's glued, but once it's turned around and glued back together. All right, I'm happy with that. Question so far?
What do you figure the inside diameter of that cove is?
Oh, I don't know. My radius is 2 inches, so my total radius is 4 inches. So this is probably about 1.25 inches.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. 1 inch and 5/16. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's 1.25 inches. So,
Okay.
plus or minus a 30-second. So, this is leaving me. My posts are going to be about this wide, okay, which is pretty reasonable. But I could make them tighter. Like this one clearly is tighter than that. Okay, so this one is thinner than that. But then y'all weren't watching when I did that one. So, you can paint it now if you want to paint the inside. And you don't have to paint the inside. Now, if you wanted to put some kind of design for the outside, you would put like a Christmas tree or whatever. You would put that design in here on these glue lines once you got down in here. So I've seen people do them in with snowmen and Christmas trees and all kinds of different things. So
You turn back on.
somebody got an open mic?
No,
right.
somebody drop it off.
Okay, so I just use a straight chisel and I try to split them along the on the inside if I can. So let's get this out of the way. You guys see what I'm doing here? Okay, good. And I do light taps because I'm worried about screwing it up.
Yeah, it is a demo.
Well, I do it light taps anyway, even when nobody's watching. Yeah, this is splitting. That's good. There's one of them out.
Do they typically come apart in the individual, the 4 segments?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Dane.
Do they typically come apart like what you're doing?
I don't know
there,
if that's
one
me
at
or
a time?
somebody else, but
No, that's me.
because my internet
No,
connection's
so-
unstable. Maybe it's better now. Okay. What was that, Dane? I missed what you just said.
Well, I think as you've gone through the process here, it's explained it to me. I was thinking that they would split in half, and then you split the individuals off. But looks like the individual quarters come off pretty smooth that way. So okay.
All right, so they're all split now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rotate each piece in place, okay, and I'm going to glue them once I've rotated them. And usually what I'll do is I'll glue 2 of them together and 2 of them together, and then sand so that I get and I want to try to line up these lines here, okay. So I'm going to line up this line and this line on each of these, okay. That's how I glue the blocks together, okay. Questions on that?
No, but there is a question about the glue tape. What kind
I
of
don't
glue
know what
tape?
I don't know what glue tape means. This is just like basic
Yeah,
masking
I thought
tape.
it was just, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought it was just, it's just painter's tape.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing special. Okay. So we've glued them together and should so let's go back to my little document here and oops. Go here. Okay, so we're at the point here. Step 5B is painting the inside. Step 6 is to separate the sections, which I just did. 7, rotate it away from the center. And then you turn the outside. So right now we're at step number 8 here at the last step, or picture number 7, step number 8. Okay. So
Okay.
I've got this piece here like this. Questions on this?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, when I look at these, I've got one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small tenon on each end, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill, because what I've got going on here is I've got finials that I've turned. All right. And they all have a 1/4 inch tenon on the bottom. So I'm going to put a finial on the top and a finial on the bottom, and they're all going to have a 1/4 inch tenon, whether I'm using a top or a bottom. Okay. So I'm going to drill those tenons. So I'm going to put I'm drill those for those tenons, but I'm going to put a tenon to hold them into my chuck first. So I'm going to put a tenon on both sides, and then I'm going to mount it. And I'm going to look at this and I say, okay, this side is larger than this side. So this will, it's thicker here. Okay. So this will give me a better hold for the bottom. So that's going to be my last one. So, all right. So let's get our centers marked here. Whoops. Sorry about that.
All right.
That's what I get for moving with my face mask up.
Limited real estate.
Yeah.
This is an example of where a stem center type center, both in the headstock and the tail center, hold much better than straight points.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly, Ruby. And I love both of these step centers. This is a live center, and this is the step center for the drive. And I love them, and I use them a lot. I just chuck things up between them. They hold really well. Clearly, there are times when you use a spur center or use a point center, and I will use a point center at some point in this demo. But right now, these work great for this. It's not a very big or heavy piece, and I can get a very precise and great hold with them. All right, so let's move this a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tenon on both sides. Then I'm going to take it out and put it in a 4-jawed chuck and drill. And then once it's drilled, then I will turn the rest of it. Okay, questions on that?
No.
All right. Good. Now, don't over tighten this, because you now have a fragile break point here. Okay, so. This is just a parting tool, or a parting and beating tool. And I'm making a light cut. And I'm checking my little thing here for my tenon size. And then what I do is I take a skew in here and I make sure that both of these surfaces are flat and that corner is cleaned out. All right. Now I'm doing it this way. I've got it the small side in the chuck first because I'm going to switch. I'm drilling both ends. So when I switch back around, it'll be the last time I switch it around. Okay. Okay. So this comes out.
Looking good, Matt.
And this comes in with the 1/4-inch drill. Thank you. So I only want to go about that far in, so I'm going to move my tape up here. That's how far I want to go.
Feel better, Doug.
Yeah, I need a new piece of tape on the end there.
Yeah.
Been drilling a lot with it. What can I say? All right, so I'm there. So ideally, what I'm trying to do is not go all the way through into the interior of the ornament with this drilling, but it's not a loss if you do. Questions on what I just did?
No, nothing in chat. Pretty clear where you explained it, Matt.
All right, good.
Doing a good job.
Good to hear. Thank you very much. And now, because I've got a hole for the cone to sit in, I'm going to bring up tailstock support that sits in the hole. Well, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to clean that off a little bit.
Can you change cameras, Matt?
I can.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And all I'm doing is just cleaning that surface off so I don't have to do it when I turn the rest of the ornament. Okay, now this is just very lightly in here, okay? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working from the corners. I'm going to take the corner off and work this way. I've got to be mindful of this edge of things here, of this edge here, because that's my post limit, okay? And I could use any number of tools, but we're going to just go back to the deep fluted bowl gouge and use that. Now, again, these are light cuts. I'm not aggressive. What I've done is I've set the tool up in a shearing at a shearing angle. Okay. So I set the tool up at a shearing angle before I get to the wood, and I'm just coming across the wood to cut it like that.
You'll notice he's following in-grain turning principles, going from the high to the low.
Grain is this way. So I'm coming across, I'm cutting across that grain And I'm
Right.
getting really nice shavings, which means I'm getting a good shear. So the finial on there is going to be small. Okay. So, and I'm going to slowly start working my way further down this way with the same shearing cut. I set the cut up before I get to the wood. And it's a sort of a bevel riding cut, but not quite because there's not a lot of wood to ride on. So, and I seem to have, let me take a look just to make sure before I get too crazy here. I seem to have quite a bit of meat up here, so I could get creative, like put a little bit of a ledge on the wood here. So let's do that to make it a little more curved here. So it's just a feature for the finial to sit on. So I'm turning to okay. Change my tool rest here. Now I can see I can see the shadow up here. I can see the contours, and I can see that I've got a little bit of a point there. I can just keep working at it. And I can see the shadow on the interior also. See how close I'm getting to going through my posts, which I don't want to do. All right. So you can see the posts, and I've got a good knife edge here. Okay. And I could do things like
Good.
clean this up a little bit here. All right. Let's start working this way now. Now, ideally, you don't want to put the tool into the spinning metal, just for reference. So be careful when you get down near the chuck jaws. That's always a bad thing when you do that. Okay, I got a little bit of stuff to remove here yet. All right. Any questions?
No, it's looking good.
Yeah, let me check. Let me make sure. So I'm doing what I'm checking here is I'm checking in to make sure, because I want to go a little deeper here because I've still got some paper and some flat area here. So I'm checking the post size to see how much room I've got. And I do have enough room to go a little deeper, starting about here or so.
Okay.
Let's check. I got it all. Looks good. Oh, got a little bit of paper there. Let's see if I can. So the reason why I've got one section of paper and I don't have any anywhere else is because these were not perfectly glued together. So my precision here was a little bit lacking. I'm just making sure that I've got most of it. A little bit of chipping there. All right. Okay, that's good. I'm going to come and clean this up, and then we'll keep going. So my cleanup is here. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a small parting tool here because I'm running out of room. And I'm going to start removing material here. Okay. Now I'm out of room to do more. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off of this chuck and put it in a different center. Questions so far?
No, nothing in chat.
Okay. Haven't put everybody to sleep, have I?
No, everybody's attentive. You got 85 people still looking at you. No, it's
So
nice
what
when
I've
it's always nice when we demonstrate, we're constantly explaining what we're doing and the reason why we're doing it. It really clears up, the questions and or the chatter that takes place when the explanation isn't taking place when you're demoing. So, doing a good job here, Matt.
Well, thank you. Okay, so what I've got here, what I've got here is a 6-degree drive center. Now, again, this is fragile, okay? So you don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on it. All right, here we go. Don't screw it up, Matt. It's almost done.
Yeah, you're almost done. Take your time. Take your time. Otherwise, you'll have to turn a top.
Okay, so before I get too far gone here, I'm going to do some sanding. So I've got a little bit of a bump here. Probably is too much to sand off.
Hey, Matt, what's your
Yes, sir.
approximate lathe speed? What's your lathe speed that you're turning at
Right now it's about 900 RPMs.
It's about 900 RPMs, Milford.
And that's probably too fast for sanding. So I'll turn it down when I go to 150 grit. So now I'm at 400 or so.
Yeah, sandpaper's cheap.
Yeah. Well, if you're going too fast, then you're leaving more marks than you want anyway. So it's just, you know.
Yeah, you just burning
it's
shit.
better.
You're too fast.
Yeah.
May as well pick up shavings and rub against it, do the same difference.
Yeah. So that's where I am right now. All right. And I'm just going to clean up this little bit here at the bottom and we'll be done with that. Let's go detail gouge. Switch to this camera so Ruby can see what I'm doing. Now, realistically, there's a hole in here, and frankly, I think that I'm just gonna cut it off because I'm gonna be in the hole.
Yep.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Oh, you don't cut with the lathe on?
Not with this saw. Hey, in your shop, you do it how you want. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! Somebody sent me a video of a wood turner, and oh, I felt so bad for him because he had no clue how to turn, and that's one of the things that he was doing. He took a hacksaw, and he must have had his lathe turning about 800 RPM, and he's trying to saw that thing off. Oh my God!
Okay. Life is good. All right. So let me grab a few of my little tenons, my little finials I've got here. So I've got a couple of little blue ones. So yeah, that one needs some sanding. That one fits. Let me sand this one a little bit and we'll get it in there. And all I'm doing is hand sanding it up a little bit. Anyway, but that's the general idea.
Good job, Matt.
Thank you. It didn't blow up on me, so I'm a happy man. So
very nice.
Yeah.
So questions on this at all?
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome. You guys
All
can
right,
all go do this now, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, folks, the floor is open. If you have a question, now's the time to ask Matt.
Why didn't you finish it before you took off the lathe?
I don't finish anything on the lathe. I'm usually spraying lacquer. So I usually, I don't use a friction polish. Generally, I don't use CA glue. If I do use CA glue, I'm doing it off the lathe. lacquer, spar urethane, polyurethane, it's all wipe on or spray. So I'm not doing it on the lathe. I don't finish anything on the lathe.
You do it.
The only
in
thing I'll do
bedroom,
I'll do on the lathe is I'll spray sanding sealer when I'm sanding, but this didn't need it. So
yeah.
Hey, Matt,
What's
that
your
was
thickness
really
on?
pretty. That was very
Thanks,
enjoyable. Very enjoyable night, for sure.
What'd you
I'm
wind
sorry,
up
I'm
for
having
thickness
audio.
on?
I'm having audio and resource problems tonight, Al. Hang on a second, you guys. Let me switch over here to let's try again. Please ask your question again.
No, I just said it was a very enjoyable evening.
Well,
Thank you.
good, Al. That's part of my goal is to make you have an enjoyable evening.
It was.
And I say that without any sarcasm. I do when I'm entertained you, I know I've done my job.
Right.
Okay, questions about any of the techniques or tools I used, questions about anything that I did?
So on your post, what thickness did you wind up with?
They're
About an 1/8, 16th?
I don't know. Let's see here. They're
Oh, you
they're
can
a little
eyeball.
over, yeah, they're like 3/4 of an inch wide, and
Okay.
that's about a quarter of, no, it's less than that. It's about 3/16 thick here.
Okay.
Okay. So, and it'll vary, like there'll be a little, like this one might be a little thinner. Yeah, it is.
Right.
That's an 1/8. That's an 1/8. Just because I didn't get a perfect, when I glued them together, it wasn't perfect.
Yeah. And then so for the opening would be larger if you, while you're turning the initial glued up square block, if you turn that cove deeper, make a smaller diameter cove in the center, that would make that opening larger.
Yeah, but the opening is on the glue lines. Okay. So if I went in deeper and then across, I'd have a larger opening. Okay.
Okay.
So the opening, when you turn them around, the outer corners are now going to be in the center, and the glue line is going to be the opening. Okay.
Right.
So you can see that with this one that I just made here. You can see, I don't know if you can see the glue line, but the glue line's
Yeah, we
right
can see
there.
it.
Okay.
Yep.
So that one's a little better. It's got a little paint on it. So,
okay.
And one of the things, because I don't get these precisely in here, I do the best I can, but they're not as precise as I would like them. What I tend to do is if I'm painting, I'll switch them. I'll get them out here so the corners are out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, hold it closer to the lathe.
And then I'll glue these two together, and then I'll paint. And what this will do is if I've got a little bit of a difference in how these two fit together here, okay. And then and then I can sand these flat so that they go flat on here smooth. And then if I've got another problem here, then it's a lot easier to just paint 2 of them than it is to paint 4, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
typically I'm painting them. So I'll glue these 2 and these 2. Okay. And then now I'll paint them because I can reach all the spots.
Sure.
And I still haven't turned the outside. So I'm not trying to paint across stuff that I've already turned. Right.
Right.
So, but that seems to work better for me.
Okay. So I got a couple questions. So we'll clear up the first one. That's an easy one. What size of blank did you start with?
So I went for a 2-inch radius from the math in the beginning. I went for a 2-inch radius. So that means that the sides are 1.414 inches. So the sides, so there's times 2. So it's 2.8 inches by 2. So it's approximately
just shy of 1 7/16.
So this blank here is, a little over 2 1/8 inch long. 1, 2. Yeah, that's right. So So it's 1.414 plus 1.414 because there's two of them. Okay. So it's 2.8 inches or so across. So
Right.
again, I'm cutting each of these up to be 1.414 on a side, and then I'm gluing them together, which gets me a 2.18 by 2 or a 2.8 by 2.8 plus. Okay.
Right. Yes, approximately 2 7/8. Right on.
Yep. So I've got
Okay,
another
and then
page here. Go on.
and you'll send this in, and we'll have this on the website as well. These documents for those that are interested. We'll have that available.
Yep. Now let me just go. These are some of my notes. Okay. So I went over most of these. So when you're using the math change pages, if you want to change or enlarge or reduce, then you just change the radius and redo the calculations. I use Titebond Quick and Thick. It dries transparent. Any wood glue should work. I use basic printer paper cut into single 1-inch strips or 1 1/4-inch strips. When turning the inside, again, the outer corners will become the center. So pay attention to the shape of things, especially the curves, and also the curves. When turning the inside, the closer your curves get to the center, the smaller, narrower your posts will be. In my demonstration, I turned small tenons so I could drill 1/4-inch holes for my top and bottom finials. And you don't have to do this. This is an option. You can do this step may be optional. Okay. It's just how I make them. And then I talked a little bit about changing the shape of this of the posts so that you get a snowman shape or a Christmas tree shape or any other shape you want in the center. So just as long as you understand that the glue lines are the shape of the outside, this shape out here.
Right.
The glue lines are here. Okay. So the shape is this. So when you're turning it on the inside, all right, this glue line and here is the profile. This glue line here and here is the profile of your piece when it's done. Okay. Other questions?
Yes. So the ribbon finial, we've already posted a link for the demo on it. Some of us have already explained what the finial is, but
this seems to work better when I'm in Zoom. I missed all of that, Dane.
So we have a question on the ribbon finial. We've already got the YouTube link posted for the demo, but we have a question on if you could talk about how you make the ribbon finial that so many of us have been turned on to and started going crazy with the various designs.
They are easier than they look. Let me get some multiple stages out. I use both maple and box elder and cherry for these. So and I'm drilling a 1/2-inch hole. So yeah, we have a whole demo on these. So this is one before I've carved it. Okay. So what I've done is I make this, and I think this is box elder. I make it round. Okay. And then I drill a 1/2-inch hole, or maybe it was 3/4. I don't remember. It's a little bigger than a 1/2-inch. So I thought I was using a 1/2-inch drill. Okay. And I was using a drill so that because the Forstner bits wouldn't go deep enough and they were leaving a rougher hole on the inside. 3 inches deep inside. And then I put it on here on the lathe like this. And you got a bunch of wood out here, right? And I've drilled the hole and I put it on the lathe like this. And I just get this thin. And my temptation, as you can see in this one, this is slightly tapered going down this way. You want this straight. You don't want this tapered like this one is. because that makes things, it makes it harder to carve the bit in the bottom. So let's see if I've got a finished one here. This is literally the first one I ever made. So, and then once you're done with the finial, and I discovered, and I talked about this in the demo, it was easier to carve it on the lathe than off the lathe. So basically what I did is I took a piece of tape and I laid it across like this, and then I just carved around the tape. And one of the rules that you should always do is before you start carving, measure your bottom so you know exactly where to stop this carving here. Okay.
Yep.
So you know where to stop the carving and come across and join them up. So like on this first one I did, this corner is a little too sharp. This corner is a little too sharp and not round enough. And this shoulder, this is a little too flat here, and this shoulder is a little square. So in the subsequent ones I've done, I've corrected those issues. So this piece, this one here, no, not that one broke.
Yeah, when you're done there, Matt, I'll show my 120-degree ribbon.
Yep. So this one here, this is not square. This has got a curved transition to the bottom and a much better curve down here too.
Right.
Okay. Yep. And this is where's the ornament? This is the one that I put on here, and it's got some. I've got some chameleon dust on this, so it changes color from red, you know, in normal lighting. So, okay. So I'll turn it back to you, Dane, if you've got something you want to share on that.
Yeah, sure. Just answering the comment here. So once again, Matt Harbor, thank you very much for inviting us into your shop. I so appreciate you stepping up and doing demos for us. I know the majority of the group really appreciate it as well. And as always, you know, outstanding demo. Did a great job. Didn't have to use your picker upper stick. That's always a bonus.
I know you like that, Dane. I know you like that.
always got to get that in.
Yeah, I was using it to pick up sandpaper from behind the lathe earlier, so it did get used today.
Limited real estate. So if anybody else, if you don't have any other questions for Matt, we're gonna get back to showing some gallery. If you have any turning questions or wood questions, now's the opportunity to ask.
Great demo, Matt.
Matt, yeah, great demo for sure. Thanks a lot.
Awesome demo,
Matt. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So with that, the individual that asked about more ribbon finials. So this is a variation on the ribbon finial. I don't have a clean piece of paper. And so it's done similar to the single prong, but each of these spokes are laid out 120 degrees. And then, you know, from the base, 120 to the top, 120. And then, so this is a finial assembly that I'm working on for an urn that I'm remaking, that a lot of you already heard the story on, and I won't rehash.
For like 6 months, 6 months.
Wow.
Damn near feels like it, you know. But yeah, so with that, you know, just wanted to add that in. You know, these ribbon finials, when Matt did the demo on it 8 months ago time frame,
fourth.
There was a lot of us that just went bonkers on it. You know, took the idea and the knowledge that he passed on, you know, of one, wow, how easy is it to do? Oh my God. Turn yourself a cylinder, drill it out, turn the cylinder.
It looks complicated.
Lay it out.
It looks super complicated, but it's really substantially easier once you know all the steps. And it's you know, anybody can make it. It's just a little bit of precision, and
anybody can do it.
Yep. Hey, you know, like Brent, you know, Band-Aid, Brenda says, if she can do it, anybody can do it.
Yep.
She does them really well. She's probably made more than Matt at this time.
No, I'm not.
I don't.
I'll just roll with it.
Okay.
But
Well,
all right,
she's
so
definitely
with
made
that,
more than
let's
me.
These are the ones
let's
that are not installed yet on anything.
oh, you got some more to share, Matt?
Well, I don't know. There's like 8 or so
Oh,
in
you
various
got a
stages.
bag of. Okay.
Yeah,
Right on.
these are ones because I did this demo about 6 times, so it's
Right. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's a really nice way to dress up a hollow form vessel. To use that as a finial top instead of the standard
it is a great
finials
way to do that.
everybody makes. But at the same time, it's got to match and go with the proportions and the overall vessel shape. So
Thank you
all right,
very much,
so
everyone. It's my pleasure. I'm happy to do it. So
all right, thank you. All right, so let's.
And I would like to
Go
point
ahead.
out that you don't have to just do ornaments with these. You can use this to do 4 legs on the bottom of a piece. Al had a piece that he did that where he showed it. So,
Yep.
There's a lot of ways. It doesn't just have to be ornaments. So,
Exactly. All right, thank you, Matt. All right,
My
let's go to
pleasure.
Randy Smith. Hey, Randy. Still muted. Now we got you. No, we don't.
I have a
He might
very
not be
quick
talking.
thing.
There we go.
And this is for, I believe, Safety Sue. I can turn my camera here. I have been madly making,
Oh, you
I
just
probably
popped
will
up.
have to
You have to take off your screen.
take off the
Back to
blur.
Oh,
There we
good.
go.
I have been making pen blanks for about
Ask you to talk about.
2 weeks now.
Nice.
I have no idea how many are in here. This particular Tupperware container is about 11 inches wide and about 5 inches deep. So I have no idea how many pen blanks are in here. But these are mostly all going to the Turn for the Troops and for the Pennsylvania Farm Show in January, where I'm going to be making lots. Most of these are pieces of maple. There are a couple of pieces of cherry. Sometimes when I'm making these, I round them before I make the blank. Don't really like doing that. I prefer making square ones, but that's it.
That's a bunch of pen blanks.
Took me about 2 weeks.
Hey, Randy. Briefly,
Yeah.
can you talk about what Woodcraft does on Veterans Day for the pen turning program for veterans?
Yes. The Woodcraft stores everywhere have a Turn for the Troops, usually on the Veterans Day weekend. This year it's the 9th and 10th of November. And so what they do is they invite the public. They have mentors on hand to help people turn a pen. The local one here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania has, that's on the 9th and 10th. And we have had Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. We had a kid that was 5 years old make a pen.
Nice.
And it's always a good time. We get people in from everywhere. And they all come in, they all have a happy time, and they all make a pen. And some of them have joined our wood turning club. So
5-year-old turn a pen.
oh yeah. My normal thing when I tell people, they ask, can my kid turn a pen? And I tell them, if you would trust your kid to have a sharp knife yes, they can do this.
Right. Yeah.
And with
They cut their
carbide
own food up.
tools, if they can handle a sharp knife, they can do this. So
Do they cut their own pork chop? Yep, they're good to go.
yep.
Right on. I need to. I meant to do it earlier. I need to check in with Randy, the owner of the Woodcraft up here in Tucson, and see if they're doing anything. Because their latest monthly rag that they sent out, they didn't say anything about that. So I need to check in.
A lot.
See if he's participating in it.
A lot of the woodcrafters, including the one in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, do not really push the advertising. I don't know why that is. It would be a way for them to attract people
Right.
and get exposure
Yeah.
for wood turning.
For sure, absolutely.
And so
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't push it more or publish
Right.
it more.
Yeah. Yeah, because it wouldn't cost them anything more to put it in their little monthly flyer that they send out to us. So, all right. Well, very good. Thanks for reminding us on that. And thank you very much for doing what you do on that for veterans, Randy.
Yes, thank you, Randy.
All right. So with that, I am going to flip over to Mr. Tag here. I have to go inside and take care of my diabetic cat. I'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes tops. So, Scott, it's on you. Currently, we don't have any more gallery. So, folks, if you want to have a piece that you would like to show, like Howard King, he hasn't self-identified yet, and he's got a couple nice pieces, I'm sure. Put it in the chat, and we will get to you as your names pop into the chat. All right, Scott, I'll be back in about 10.
Okay. Well, so it's open floor. Anything that somebody wants to talk about, I guess we'll talk about till somebody pops in the chat with something to show.
Scott, I put in, I don't know where it went, but I got a couple things to show.
Okay. Let me find you here.
In fact, I wasn't going to show these, but Matt, you struck a nerve tonight. This is I've been turning these things. The damnedest part is I can't sell them. I'm the only one likes them, I guess. But
well, I like them too, and I've sold 2 in the last week and a half. So there you go. There's an 8-pointed one.
The 6 point.
6 post. Very nice, Jim.
And I paint it and sparkle it on the inside. Anyway, it makes kind of a neat. And this one here is an 8-point. Sometimes I go overboard. This is the biggest bottle stopper you ever seen. You know, this is made for like a 3-gallon jug or something. But anyway,
it needs a wine bottle.
You got a big one.
Jim, go overboard. Say it ain't so.
Oh no. but now that
the vapors.
When you try to sell these, there's a lot of labor in these. So what I did, I cut it in half.
Ooh.
Put a finial underneath it. So for just another finial, you've got 2 ornaments, okay?
That is cool.
That helps your pricing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Those are beautiful, Jim.
A lot of fun. I did this years ago. I was at the England's Wood Turning Symposium. Do you want to see a couple of pictures of that?
Sure. We'd love to.
Absolutely.
You think I can do this? No, let me see here. Let me see if this comes up. Tell me you can see it, okay?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. You have me worried. This is in Yarnfield, England. It's a training center for the telecommunications years ago, and it's a self-contained symposium. There's this main building here, and then there's 5 dorms and And it's connected with sidewalks and they all have roofs over the top of them. This was really fun. Rita and I spent 2 weeks over there. These are the dorms, but like I say, it's always raining, so they have these walks with, but the dorms were just remodeled. It was a fun 3 days. They're pretty smart over there. They put this training center in the middle of nowhere. So when they send a bunch of guys out there to get trained, they can't walk down to the local bar or something. I mean, you're out in the woods. They got you.
That's huge, I'm sure.
It's pretty good size. Yeah. Here's Rita going in. This is the door going into the main entrance.
Well, they also mean that you don't come back to the shop after lunch with a little bit of extra inhibitions released, you know?
You got it. On the way in, they had this guy, he wasn't allowed to go in there. He wasn't allowed to do his thing. But anyway, they put him outside. But he's got a bench with a draw knife and he does all handwork. Really interesting. I don't know if you've ever tried a treadle lathe, but God bless these guys. I can't stand on one foot and bounce up and down and turn a spindle. It looks like it'd be fun, but it isn't. And this is some of the stuff he made, and he even writes books and that sort of thing. And then on the inside, this was one of the wood vendors. This is not nearly as big as, in fact, there were only about 200 people there. But this is the wood vendor. He's got all kinds of stuff from all over the world. This is the main floor, the vending area. And above here on the left, there's a balcony. You'll see that. I got pictures. But anyway, there's probably about 15 vendors. This is Simon Hope, the first guy. I don't know who the other guy is on there. There's another one. That woman on the right is Emma Cook. That's her. And this is from the balcony overlooking some of the things. This thing bounces. This is Klingspor. Klingspor has a division over there. And in fact, the sandpaper's made in Germany. They probably got them all over the world. But anyway, 80% of their business is metal work, like body work and that sort of thing. And 20% is wood. And over here, it's just the opposite. So they're trying to get into the woodworking field. And they had some really neat stuff over there. And that's another vending area. The English like to eat and drink, and they always have something to eat and drink in front of you. They're just everywhere you turn. This is the cafeteria. The line, as you come through this first part where the lights are, there's about 4 different meals served. And then you keep going and you go into where you pick up your silverware and the condiments and all that sort of thing. This is where you eat. That guy in the suit is Emmett Kane. I don't know anybody else here. These are some of the other turners. I've been Zooming with these guys ever since COVID, and so I know a bunch of them. This is Dr. Roy Weird, another doctor. Anyway, a bunch of neat guys. That's some more of the dining area. This is on the balcony. This is where you mill around between demos, and there's coffee machines in the middle, and over on the right, over against the wall, there's a juice dispensers. There's apple juice, orange juice, and water, and I don't know what else. And then on both sides, there's 3-foot square boxes of cookies, all in bags. And man, they eat cookies, I'm telling you. Here I am sampling a cookie or something. I don't know. I ate a lot of cookies. That's Rita on the right, and Paul Hanaby. He was the president of the AWGB last year. We stayed with him for a few days.
Wow.
That's Emma Cook. She
Mhm.
was a vendor there. She didn't demo. These are some of her pieces.
Wow.
That's one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen turned. That's clear resin, and she's got pine cones in there with gold tips. And I don't know what, it is gorgeous.
Wow.
In one of the demo rooms, that's Margaret Gerard instructing. And this is Derek Pouplet. He was the secretary of AWGB last year. We stayed with him a week and had a great time. That's one of Margaret Gerard's pieces. She's fabulous. Even her signatures of work art, I think.
Yeah, wow, that's really pretty.
It's gorgeous. Everything she does is just gorgeous. The shading and the proportioning, and she's a real elegant lady, and everything is no problem. She just does it.
Oh my.
I love it.
These are thermed. Therming is when you turn it 4 at a time. You have plates at both ends of the lathe, and you put the piece in the middle, and you turn these 4 at a time. She thermed these. You can see the fourth one on the bottom there. But they're pretty plain. She's expert at decorating and that sort of thing.
Hey, Jim, on that previous picture, they drill the hole all the way through first before they turn the 4 of them on the axis.
You're testing me. Yes, I think they do. Yes. In fact, I think the hole lines up. She has pins in the one plate on the tailstock side, and the other plate she has it's screwed on, and that piece is up.
I can see how that's done in my head. Okay.
Yes.
And in that picture in the lower right corner, you've got another example of how to use the inside out turning.
Inside out, yeah.
That's right. That's right. I don't know who did that. That was gorgeous. The ornament and the other piece.
Right.
Yeah, it's all gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the piece with the flower sticking up, I think, is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
This is Jason Beach. He does boxes, little boxes and things.
Yeah, he was at Spot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
No,
this year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, he was there this year. I was in his demo.
This guy is Mark Hannity. You got to see his work. He's something else. Rita took this picture. Damn it, I can't
say.
That's the
What did you
picture.
say his name was?
Mark Hannity. Hannity?
Is it related? Is he related to Paul?
No. Hanbury.
Oh, okay.
Hanbury, I'm sorry. He makes these shields. They're probably 20 inches in diameter.
Oh, yeah.
He paints it with a paint. Then he smears it with his finger. He does all kinds of finger painting. The guy's a fabulous artist. And then he takes the paintbrush, turns the lathe on, turns it around, and he puts these stripes in it. This is just true. Wait till you see what he painted this with his finger, okay?
Wow.
He's putting the black marks in this one right here.
Jeez.
They use these shields in reenactments and that sort of thing. I don't think they really hit them with anything. Never hit.
Never been to a reenactment, have you?
They never hit that one, I'd kill them. I think.
Yeah, right.
Oh, damn, this thing. This is what it ended up with. He put these studs in it and that sort of thing, but
wow.
He does this, and so it is.
Wow.
This is him getting started. He's got a piece on the lathe. and he turns them pretty fast. This is the back of it. Here you can see behind him, he's painted this black, and then he smeared some blue on it, I think, and then he paints it with white, and you can see on the end of his finger, he's smearing it with his fingertip.
Right.
Yeah.
And when he gets all done, this is
Whoa.
Damn.
okay.
Look at that.
This happens so damn fast, you can't imagine. I mean, it looks like it would take you 3 weeks to do it, but
It
Wow.
wouldn't look like that if I did it.
no, either. If I can't paint with a roller, I'm done.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm-mm-mm.
Wow.
What-
That's just wicked cool.
yeah, it's all done with, he mixes this white paint. You see how it makes droplets and stuff as he turns on the lathe? It starts to,
Splatters.
it starts
He's dragging it.
yeah, and then the clear lines, the radial lines are all done with the end of the paintbrush.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Very cool.
This is another one he did.
Wow.
There's another one.
I love that effect. That's a great effect.
Oh, you
It is
see,
a great effect.
well, you see the squiggles in the middle? That's the paintbrush just screwing around.
Just squiggling.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it anyway. This guy, I don't know who this was. He was from France. He turns a bowl and he turned 3/8 beads on it. Then he takes a real stiff wire brush. I'm not sure maybe it's a wire brush that he's cut like half of the wire off, but it's real stiff. And he hits these beads at 45 degrees one way and then 45 degrees the other way. And it comes out looking like rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Wow.
does.
Cool. Cool.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That'd make a dynamite birdhouse. I mean, beehive.
Yeah, well,
That's a nice idea. Nice
Yeah.
idea.
Wow.
I think that's in oak. That's the three of us. That's Paul Hanaby on the right, Rita and Derek Pouplet. And behind them is the Instant Gallery. It's not real big, but there's a lot of gorgeous pieces in there.
All right. So is Paul really that tall, or the Rita and the other guy that short?
Well, both.
Rita is pretty short, but Paul
Yeah.
was pretty
Well,
tall.
I figured that.
Dane is both. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul's pretty tall and Rita's pretty short. So
Okay.
uh,
Wow.
these are some of the other pieces just going around the gallery. Some of the
Yeah, I
cards.
like those shields, the coloring on it. Those actually look good. There's a couple other famous people that do them, and I'm just not that impressed with those. Look good.
Yeah, some of these are just different techniques. I didn't take all the pictures. I just took some of
That's cool.
I thought were better. And this is a cup burr.
That's nice.
And
Yeah, nice carving on that one.
that is bleached sycamore.
Wow.
Bleached
Wow.
sycamore to pure white. I can't believe they do this, but anyway,
It looks like
What do they
Lily
bleach
Potter.
it?
I have no idea. I couldn't find anybody that knew, but you wouldn't want to be around it. He'd kill you on the spot, I think.
Probably.
And the texturing on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a see. Here's the one.
Wow.
That Dr. Roy Weir did these. It takes him months to do it. But that's bleached sycamore.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of carving.
Oh,
Not much turning.
yep.
Wow.
He's meticulous. He's got another one. That's a piece
Oh.
of coral. It's not only bleached, it's shaded. He might have touched this up with something, but it's kind of got a real light shading. And it's just gorgeous.
Wow.
I was interested in that. It could be turned on a small lathe, it's just little blocks and all put together.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked like a Dux Chuck project.
But yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
This was turned in two pieces. The guy turned the blue bowl in the center, and then he was turning something else, and this outer thing kind of fit into it. And he says, "I'll be damned, that really works." And he glued it together.
Cool.
So Jim, to turn that sycamore white, to use caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, and hydrogen peroxide, 2-step process.
Okay.
And caustic soda will burn you like nobody's business.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
We used to use it in the oil patch.
No, a couple of the guys do it. Maybe I don't know why they use sycamore, but it seems like you're always using sycamore when they do it.
They have a lot of it
Readily
over there.
available free over there.
They call
Yeah.
it London Plain. So yeah.
Yeah. There's another one he did.
Oh
I
yeah.
need to find me some of those cup burrs.
Oh, they're neat. Rita loves it.
Yeah.
Sells them, different kinds.
That's cool. Who?
Billy.
Uh,
Showed
so-
'em.
Who sells them?
I showed them, but Manpa sells them. MANPA is the
Oh,
name of the
Manpa.
cutters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simon Hope did this. He
Versus-
took an onion, and then this is one of his demos. That top piece is silver.
Wow.
He turns it straight, and then
Like
he
silver metal.
yeah, he turns it straight, and he bends it, and he polishes it. He's quite a guy.
Mm.
That's the stuff I took over there. I had to take stuff that's flat, so and this is the final saying goodbye, and they had some prizes they gave away and whatever. That's the direct. That's the head of the AWGB. And this is the group that I Zoom with. They just got together at the end, but that's Kate in the middle.
Yep.
Rita, Rachel.
Oh.
That's it. Anyway, great time.
Wow.
Cool.
Well, thank you.
Outstanding, Jim. Thanks for sharing.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Jump in here with
Thanks,
gallery.
Gene. Say hi to Rita for us.
You're welcome. Okay.
You know what?
So we got,
That costs
we're gonna-
us nothing. That costs you how much money? That costs you how much? And we just had it for free.
But I'll tell you that whole thing, they have packages.
That was nice. That was
Yep.
really nice.
That thing, once you do the conversion, the symposium for 2 people with room and board and everything you want, and snacks and whatever, was $1,000.
That's a good deal.
And I'll tell you, yeah, it's smaller. You get to talk to the demonstrators and the retailers, and you eat great. The rooms were great. Everything's right there. You don't have to drive or anything. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I
Have
learned.
yourself some, did you eat some bangers and mash?
No, I didn't have bangers and mash. There's a few things I didn't eat. One of them was what is it? Dark pudding or something? Dark pudding or something?
Black pudding.
Black pudding. That's it. Oh, God,
Black.
that's made of pig blood, I guess.
Blood
Yeah,
pudding, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
actually,
I
it's actually
wouldn't
really
eat it
good. Do
It
you
looked-
like liverwurst?
The-
You like
yeah,
liverwurst?
yeah.
No.
It's consistency of that, and it's richer, and it tastes even better.
Really? I like the look of it, but then they told me what it was. I didn't think I needed any.
Yeah. We used to eat it in Germany.
Yeah.
My landlord, he had hogs, and we'd hear, of course I grew up on the farm. We slaughtered hogs, every Thanksgiving and Christmas break, but he'd do the hogs there. The barn was attached to the house where we lived at. My wife's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that!" And a couple days later, he comes over with a couple links of bleach sausage. My wife, and I knew what it was. Let her eat it. She's like, "Oh my God, this is good. What's this made of?" I go, "The fresh blood from the jugular." It's like, "Oh my God."
No,
Good
I
stuff,
don't like
good stuff.
I don't like liverwurst, and I want nothing to do with black pudding.
Nope.
Can I go
Right,
with
well,
you, Jim?
it's way better than mushy peas.
I
Boy.
could do with it. I could do with the steak and kidney pie.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Some of the pies were
Right.
good. Fish pie and,
Shepherd's pie.
we had a,
Daniel said he had some stuff to show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
I watched that demo the other day and I decided I'd make a few of these.
Out of pocket for a costly repair again.
Cool.
Yeah. Then I got sick and I was gonna show them earlier, but packaging them all up.
Yeah, if you want, just bring your card.
Can you mute them?
I got them.
I can't find them.
Thanks, Brenda.
I couldn't find them either. I was looking. Oh, you're muted too now, Dan.
Yeah, now Dan, I can't hear you.
I muted me.
Yeah, you're good. We hear you now. Ooh.
You need to turn one of your devices off, Matt, or Dan.
Yeah, mute one of them.
How's that?
Only got that's better.
Better.
But anyway, I just started getting them packaged up. I had to order the boxes and all that stuff. And I got little plastic bags to put the chips in. So I still got some work to do with it, but these are all going to be Christmas gifts.
Are you gonna pull one of them smokers out and actually show us?
Not tonight, but yeah, when I get feeling better. I've been sick as a dog, so tomorrow I got to take the dog, our new dog, in to get spaded. So
No, Dan. Can you pull one of your smokers out and show us the smoker?
Oh,
He showed it, but go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, he showed them.
Oh, okay. I
That's
must have
all right.
blinked. I didn't
We'll
see
say it again.
there's your screen.
Yeah.
There's the smoker.
What was that made of? Mesquite?
These are hickory.
Oh.
Okay.
Huh.
What'd you finish it with?
That Axe abrasive paste
Beautiful.
finish, and the woods it was square, and I trimmed it up.
Right.
All the chips
You saved?
and I saved them, and I put them in bags or containers so I can throw it in with these when I ship them out.
Cool.
Nice. That's a great project there, Dan.
No sense
And
in
you
throwing
learned,
away the chips.
right? And you learned it here on Worldwide Wood Turners.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I looked
Hey,
at
Matt.
that for the little bit of money. It's a nice gift to give to my family and friends.
Yeah. Right.
And it didn't cost much.
Cool.
That's good. Go ahead.
Hey, Matt.
Howard.
Hey, Matt.
Go ahead, Howard.
Hey. Hey.
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was going to show. Okay, there we go. I was going to show Matt my inside out ornament.
Oh.
Can y'all see it?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
see
sir.
it.
We see, we got you.
That's pretty.
Does that piece in the middle go all the way through then?
Oh, no, it just fits right in here. But you glue it in when you turn these around and glue them. About 7 years ago, I made a dozen of these. And it took me about 6 weeks to make them because there's about 5 or 6 steps.
Yep.
And I swore I would never make any more.
I'm with you.
It
Oh,
took me,
Lord.
and of course I gave a bunch of them away, and I made them too big. This about 11 inches here, and I made a mistake coloring that black, but this part's ambrosia maple, and this part just maple, and that part's maple, and so. But anyway,
Cool.
anyway, that's my contribution to the inside out ornaments there.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Howard.
Stuck to that now and not made any more?
Oh,
7 of them, that's it.
and I got about a dozen blanks that I was going to do 2 dozen. After I got through with a dozen, I said that's all, and so I got another dozen up there ready to turn. But
You're halfway there.
Next week, Howard.
no, I'm done.
No, next week.
Hey, Howard, bring those up there to level up.
Yeah. We
I
can
only
turn
got
something up
one.
at level up.
Your,
I only got
your
one left.
blanks. Bring them blanks up to level up and have it as a door prize.
Hey,
There, that's an
they're
idea
all
too.
they're all ambrosia maple too. You know,
Hell yeah.
Idea.
That'll work.
I don't know if anybody would want them, but you know.
Oh, I guarantee I'd make a hell of a door prize or you know, some type of raffle that we wind up doing up there. Yeah, somebody would be extremely happy for that, Howard.
Sure.
May do
It's
it
a
if I
thought.
can
It's a good
remember.
thought.
If I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be.
I can relate to that, Howard.
Hey, you'll still be alive, and guess what? I will remember.
Damn.
All right, buddy. All
Okay.
right, so we need to go to a special guest tonight. We want to go to Brent Ross. He is a new member. So for those of us that are still here, let's
Hello,
all give
Brent.
Brent a nice welcome.
Hi, Brent.
And thank you
Welcome.
very much for coming through, hanging out with us tonight. It's been almost 3 hours. We're almost getting ready to conclude the meeting, but welcome and looking forward to see what you have here.
Well, I've been turning now for about 22 years, so
Nice.
it's not a new thing to me. I started from my father got me turning. He turned for about 15 years before he passed away, and so I just kind of come by it a little bit naturally,
Right.
and enjoyed it ever since. It became my retirement hobby, and
Yes.
more of an obsession or an addiction probably would be the more accurate way to put it.
Yep.
Correct.
But,
Correct.
yes, but I've made I don't know by count about 16,000 items now,
Wow.
and most of it has been given away to charity, to various children's hospitals that have gift stores that benefit the children through the gift stores. Literally several thousand Christmas ornaments have gone that way, and other places. A lot of Mother's Day presents for church and things of that nature. So I don't sell anything. I just make it and give it away.
Wow.
Nothing wrong with that.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's been a lot of fun doing it. I just wanted to show you a couple that I had in the room here with me right now. These I made a couple of years ago. I do a lot of candy dishes as well. One of the things we do with people that we get invitations for their weddings, we make them a 7-inch candy bowl, and we fill it full of Hershey Kisses or Hershey Hugs, and wrap it in cellophane, and that's their wedding present.
Nice.
And we find that the young kids really do appreciate the wood items, and so that's been fun. So, but I do make a lot of small. This is one out of excuse me. This is a spalted hackberry
Beautiful.
that I
Nice.
got from my son's tree down in Watauga, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth.
Yep.
Nice.
And
I love spalted hackberry. It's beautiful
Where do
stuff.
you live?
it is beautiful
live,
stuff, isn't it? And it's fun to turn. It's very lightweight. This has about 1/8 of an inch thickness to it, and so it is really extremely lightweight.
What part of the
Occasionally,
country you in, Brent?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada,
Cool.
and so no, it's not always cool here.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I do have to have an air conditioner in my shop,
Mhm.
and so I do turn 365. So it's kind of nice. Occasionally, I am able to get some really exotic woods, and I turn semi-hollow forms out of a lot of these. Again, just a little candy dish. This happens to be Tasmanian eucalyptus,
Beautiful.
and so these are just a couple of these are the easy things that I turn. Since we've been on inside out turnings, I've probably turned 4 or 5 dozen inside out turnings for Christmas ornaments, and lots of little birdhouses for Christmas ornaments, and hollow globes. I started doing hollow globes probably the first 3 weeks I was turning,
Wow.
and had to make my own tools out of Allen wrenches, et cetera, to turn my hollow globes. But I broke the first 3 and I broke the first 8 finials. But I learned.
Yep, you learn.
And then I finally got to go to my local wood turning club, so I'll put a plug in for local clubs because they really advanced me and got me to be a better turner.
Cool.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, the Las Vegas club has kind of fallen apart the last couple of years. Haven't been able to quite keep it together, but we're still working at it. We're on the growth pattern again, and that's good.
Lucky
Yeah.
you found us then.
Yeah, I found you. Let's see, how did I find you?
Facebook.
Oh, I was at SWAT and picked up and Eddie Castling gave me his card.
Oh, okay.
And I'd never been to his website before, so I went over to his website, and Worldwide Woodturners was on his website, so I clicked on that, and there enough there was a meeting. Yes, so just yesterday I found you.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Well, if you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook page as well.
Okay.
So underneath the same name, Worldwide Woodturners, and click on that, join it, answer the questions. I've got some security questions on there to prevent scammers and do-gooders that try to take advantage of folks from being able to get in. So there's 3 questions, and then there's rules question. Just answer them. And if you're, being a wood turner, it's IOC, intuitively obvious to the casual observer. So it's nothing difficult. And then post away, comment, put ideas out there for us, because that's what we're trying to do is learn, try to learn from the folks that's been doing it for a long time.
Got to teach each other.
That's right. We got to share the trade because it's a dying trade.
Just out of thank you, because I've never done it. Actually met him in person, but Jim Duxbury was one of my early muses. As I read articles by him, I thought, can I do this? Can I do this? And I actually did try some of them, succeeded a few times.
Right. Great.
Good.
And then tonight you got to see Duxbury in person.
Yep. That's been pretty nice.
Yes.
He was at SWAT this year too.
I was only there for a couple of days for Friday and part of Saturday. I had a family situation there in Fort Worth that I had to get back to and take care of. So I was only able to be there for just a couple of days, unfortunately.
So Brent, I want to ask, like everybody is everybody else is wondering here too, what is the chances of you doing a demonstration for us?
Oh, I've only done a couple hundred demonstrations. I don't know if I can do any more.
Yeah, it sounds like I got a lime game right here.
Uh-huh.
Sweet, right?
I bet I can learn a lot from this guy.
Yes.
At this point in time, I've done a lot of just simpler things. Arthritis has crept into my hands, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and into
Yeah.
my right shoulder, so I'm not doing quite as well as I used to do. But no, I'm always up to doing demonstrations.
Okay. Yeah, I will reach out to you.
Look at there. We got 2 new guys today. Woohoo! I'm
Well, I'll
excited.
tell you what, I really appreciate you, sir. You know, one, at the beginning of the meeting, throwing in the chat that you're new to the meeting. I apologize for not getting to you sooner. I had every intention, but things kind of
Well,
got
I had-
sideways in the meeting here, and I'm so glad that you waited.
I had to take a little break in the middle of it anyhow, because I had some company
Yeah.
come that needed my attention too. So, but I
Okay.
came back, and I'm grateful that I was able to get back and share the last few minutes with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sure everybody else is excited that you're welcomed into the fold of our family group that we have here. You know,
Nice to
every
meet you.
Wednesday we do the same thing. I have a demonstration lined up every Wednesday. And you know, we talk about wood turning, show the stuff that we've been making, and we talk and get to know each other. So
Yeah, and that's a big deal too. It looked like from looking at the map that there wasn't anybody in Las Vegas that belonged to the group until I did.
nope. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's anybody from Clark County. But
Nice.
I'm down in Tucson, so I'm not that far from you.
Oh, okay.
Dane, tell him about the after hours.
Well, that's coming up. So we got a couple more galleries we're going to get to, but here at the top of the hour, the official meeting is going to end, and then I always keep the meeting open, and then that's where, you know, we get to talk about anything and everything, and you know, for people like you and me, Brent, we get to let our hair down and relax. You know, so
Well,
by
I
all
used to-
means, you are definitely welcome to hang out with us, you know, later on here.
Yeah, I used
and-
to sport a full beard until my wife finally said, "I'm tired of kissing a fuzzy upper lip."
That's funny. See, my wife told me I needed to grow my beard because I've lost so much weight.
Mm.
My face was
Mine would
sinking in.
recognize me without it.
Oh, I know, right? But with that, let's so I got 2 more gallery items I want to get to, and then we'll call it for the official meeting, and then we'll start the after hours here. So, but once again, Brent, thank you very much for popping in, joining up with us, showing us some of your work, and then giving us a backstory on yourself. That was very informative and great to hear.
You're welcome.
All right, Joaquin, we got you now, buddy.
All right.
The wild man.
Glad to have you, Brent. Glad you come aboard. And so this weekend we've got our meeting, and it's a natural edge bow. This particular one is live oak down here in South Texas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Joaquin.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Thank you. So I've always found this live oak turns out
Beautiful.
no matter what you do with it, you know.
Yeah, it does. I
I
love it.
haven't turned any yet.
I love it.
Yeah. And so
the foot really works on that the way you made it. Great job.
yeah, I went too deep, and so I had to put it on there, and it ended up being a benefit.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
And so my president, Glenn, he tells me, "Hey, we need a demo for Saturday."
Need a demo.
So I said, "Okay." So I've been out there warming up with these little lanterns.
Oh, cute.
Tis the season.
Most of them you'll see a 4-hole, but I didn't like the 4 holes, and so I went with a 6 5/8 inch holes on them.
Cool.
Okay, 5/8. Okay.
I like that.
What light do you have in the bottom of that? Joaquin?
It's I don't know the brand, but it's a 6 hour on, 18 hours off. And I just put a little spot of CA glue in here to hold it in. And I've got actually I drilled, 1.25 inch hole with the portion of it, then 1.5 inches. So I've got to stop right here so I can push it up there and it stops. Put a little dab of CA glue in there. So I can pop it out if I ever want to, but no problem changing the battery out,
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask about the battery.
So it's, as long as it works, it's going to be okay.
Yep.
And let's see, there's another one. Little
Wow. Got them on.
all about
Good. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
yeah. And these are just, and the ring, it's just 14 gauge electric wire wrapped around a 5/8 inch rod, and I just wrap, and then I just cut them off one at a time, and spread them out and glue them on there. It's pretty simple. I'm looking forward to demoing it too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you use 14 gauge wire?
I don't. Plenty left over from remodeling and projects I got.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Terry even brought me some 10 gauge for making, an ornament hanger. It's going to work out real good on that.
Okay. Good. Great stuff, Joaquin.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
sharing. And you inspired somebody else to make some.
Yeah.
Troublemaker. All right. So with that, let's go up north and end the show with the final gallery with Heather. Hey, Heather. It's been a while.
How's it going?
Hey,
online.
Heather's not working well.
Yourself.
Yeah, I'm not working
Video.
tonight.
Nice.
I had a short shift today, so I only worked 4 hours.
Cool.
There you go.
Love those kind of days.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I made a few things here. I've got a little umbrella ornament
Nice.
Nice.
made of birch and walnut, black walnut, and it's see-through.
Oh,
That's
wow.
you can see the light through it.
Yeah, nice.
Close.
Got just a little bit too thin there.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that, but it
Tell
stayed
everybody
together.
you did.
Was the walnut dry or green when you turned it?
Oh, it was definitely dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
That's
the
pretty.
top on
Right.
it, the little umbrella was birch. So it was dry, but I got a little thin on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty.
Very
And I have a
It moved on
Thank
you.
you.
That's what happened.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. The wood moved.
Yeah, I had to do a little bit of hand sanding on that just to make sure I didn't go right through it.
Right.
You can see my finger in there.
Nice job.
Thanks. And I have a recovery here. I don't know if you remember about 1.5 years ago, I made a goblet and I wrote Megapint on it. I had burnt it on. So that never sold at any of my sales. So I put it back on the lathe and I made this.
Oh,
Ah,
nice.
nice.
I redesigned it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
that will
just in the
definitely sell.
That's what I was
basket illusion. It
Yes.
did have a
Cool.
crack down the side, and I filled that with coffee grounds and CA glue, but the rest of it looks good.
That's
Yeah.
character. That's just
Nice.
extra character.
Yeah, so hopefully it sells.
It will.
What'd you use
I
for the
think
color?
that will.
What'd you use
What
for
was
the
that,
color?
Dean?
What did you
Yeah,
use for
I used Ohuhu markers. That's the brand name. I got them off Amazon.
the color? Oh, okay.
I believe they're India ink,
Hmm.
Okay.
but I'm
There we
not
go.
sure. Yeah.
It's striking.
Yeah, it looks
thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Very
maple.
Ojibwa.
Yes.
Yes.
Good one, Dane.
That's it. That's it for tonight.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much, Heather. And good to see
You're
you.
welcome. Yeah,
Been a
you
while,
too.
right?
I'm always here, just in the background listening,
Oh yeah, I know.
usually from work.
I know.
They kind
All
of
right,
frown on me
so-
turning on the mic from work, so, you know.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah,
Can't be
Right.
milking the clock on personal time, right?
that's right.
Some reason employers get upset with that.
If you're actually enjoying yourself at work, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
Right.
All right, good stuff. Thank you.
All right.
So with that, we're at the top of the hour. If there's one more person that wants to show something, speak up now or forever hold your peace, and we'll see you next week. Otherwise, this will be the demarcation point for the official meeting.